Yeah.
What's up, man? It's your boy Nasty and I. It's been a minute since I did any of those script segments, but a lot of people been telling me I should get back to it. As we all know, if you're familiar with No Script, it was like kind of a thing where I went on there and I kind of gave my opinion on current events, or how relationships worked, or in my opinion how things went, how things should go about a lot of different topics or whatever. But what I neglected to do in a lot of those situations, even when relating a lot of my topics to myself, was kind of touch on a lot of things that's going on with me. So a lot of people tend to get on here and get behind this camera and they want to basically tell you how they feel about other people and what's going on with other people's lives and things like that. But I want to kind of get on here and tell you a little bit about myself. So this is something I plan on doing, showcasing my ups, my downs, not necessarily in the moments. If I can do so, then I will. But for the most part, I'm going to do, I'll kind of get on here and kind of like just go through the highs and lows of what's happening with me. Like, kind of updating people and things like that. A lot of people want to know what's going on with Undefined, what's going on with my music career, what's going on with the hair cartel, what's going on with Pimp or Die. It's just so many things that we got that's like, centered around us that a lot of people have questions about. Even R&O. People want to know what's going on with R&O. How could I forget that? That's what the basis of everything that I ever did is. It's R&O. So, to kind of conclude that, this is basically like almost like an introductory episode, I say. And I try to update it as often as possible. But, just to kind of bring people up to speed with what's going on with me, in regards to, let's start with the music, I say. I'm working on a project, The Wolf on Wall Street. I kind of went on a brief hiatus from music because I needed to get myself together. With life, you'll learn that even when you think you got it figured out, life will always hit you with twists and turns, bumps and bruises, and it'll kind of always like deter you, or even just, to make you alter routes a little bit. So with that being said, a lot of things that kind of transpired around me is what sent me on a brief hiatus. I call it brief because it wasn't that long, but I needed to take the time to myself so that I could make better music. I kind of lost my passion for music at a point in time. It wasn't necessarily that I couldn't make the music, because I could always make the music, but the music was more forced than it was natural. And I felt like I was kind of becoming enslaved to trying to fit the times, but wanting to make music that I felt like fit me, which I always promised myself that I would do. I would never, convert to like, melodies or nothing like that. I always, even if I, did club songs and things like that, I would always stay true to who I was as a person. So with that being said, it was a part of me losing the passion because, for me, honestly, like my opinion on, the rap scene alone, it was just like, it was fake. I didn't really feel what was going on with it. No disrespect to nobody. I support and salute everybody that, that's doing it. But I just commend y'all for being able to put up with it. Me being a realist, I couldn't kind of continue to surround myself by, fake energy, fake love, and things of that sort. So that's what separated me from the rap scene. What separated me from music in a whole was just going through a lot of personal things. And I know people will sit there and they'll think like, yo, this is something you should express in your music, what's going on. But for me, it was like not really giving a fuck what people say or think, because I don't. But it just not being willing to kind of put my life on Front Street like that for the people to have an opinion on. I feel like the less you tell them, the less they know. If you don't give them an opinion, they won't have an opinion. To kind of conclude what I was saying, it's just like with the whole music thing, is like I said, like I should have took advantage of the state of mind that I was in, but I took time to myself, which I felt like I desperately needed, because one thing I never want to do is force my material, and I don't advise no rapper to do so. I don't feel like you should rush yourself. I've been in this game for not as long as some people, but, I'm 5 years in. So, what I wanted 5 years ago is not what I want 5 years now from it. You know what I'm saying? Initially, when I came into it, of course, everybody set out with a goal to become rich off music. You know what I mean? And what's attached to it, you need to develop fame. I always understood that through marketing. I never really gave a fuck about fame. I don't want to be famous. I don't like being in the limelight. I don't like people wanting to monitor my every move, track my every step, find flaws. When you put yourself in the spotlight, your skin got to be tough. And I got a very tough skin, and I can deal with it because, honestly, I can give a fuck less what somebody got to think or say about me. But it's just, that's not who I am as a person. So I always knew that I have superstar characteristics and qualities because I got the ability to change the aura in a room when I step into it. But I also knew that I did not want that type of praise and fame associated with it. Like, I'm not super duper groupie pressed. Like, I'm not really pressed for the extra hype and attention. So me stepping into it, I knew that from a marketing standpoint, because that was something that I always had a passion for, I knew that in order to get paid off yourself. You gotta brand yourself. So I knew that it was gonna be some fame attached to it, but I always wanted to be rich, and I wanted to go down as the most quoted. I wanted people to appreciate my music. It wasn't like I was making music that you could just bob your head and you know, turn up to. It was like, initially, I wanted people to respect my lyrics. I always wanted to go down as the most quoted rapper, like something that people, that'll stick with you, something that you can hear, that you can relate to. So, you know, with that being said, and that was then, you know, the goal hasn't changed, but honestly, I don't want to be rich off music at this particular time and moment. If I do so, it became more of a hobby. Don't get me wrong, it's a form of expression for me, so I'm still passionate about it, but at the same time, it's more of a hobby. Like, you know, I commend everybody that takes it serious as a job, because if it's a career to you, then it's a career. You know, night in, night out, you wake up, you eat, sleep, and breathe music. You know that you're constantly thinking of new ways to reinvent yourself, but still remain the same in terms of, like, creating a better you, a better version of who you were yesterday, today. So big salute to the people who treat it like a career. To everybody else who, you know, rap more of a hobby, to, you know, like, you know, we all know, like, you know, what them kind of what the characteristics of, you know, someone who treats something like a hobby kind of consists of. So I don't have to go into it, but I've been more so treating it like a hobby. I do plan to get back to it becoming a career, but even with that being said, I do not care to get a record deal. It's like, if you know what you want and what you're doing, then you know what to expect with the results, and you know how to appreciate them. So I'm cool with the validation of the people that support me and listen and enjoy the music. I don't really care for the hype of it. I don't want to be in the mix of it. I don't care to be in that limelight. You know what I'm saying? Because once you in it, it's hard to get out of it. And I really had to take a hiatus to remove myself from the limelight. Like, I really had to fall damn near off the face of the earth just to not be in the limelight. And it's like, which brings me to the next thing, you know, like, what kind of brought more fame than anything, and it was like, it hit by surprise, and it came so fast, was Undefined. And a lot of people want to know what transpired with Undefined. And to basically simplify it, it was what it was. We got what we could from it. It actually exceeded any level of expectations we ever could have set for it. And what we had like to continue with, fuck yeah, I love my cast. I love doing it. I love the feedback. I love the fan base. But certain things just didn't work out. What I can say is everybody who worked with us is doing something with themselves for the most part. You know what I'm saying? We had an all-star cast of people, which didn't appear to be all-star going into it, but if you reflect on it and you go revisit the people that was a part of it, you like, yo, these motherfuckers is around. That's all I could have ever asked for. Me being a director, me and Pimp being a writer, that's, you know, and as y'all can see, the results was outstanding. And it happened so fast, like, you know, it emerged so fast. It was even faster than we could have expected or even planned for. So it was like, we didn't even know what we was dealing with at the time, because when we set out to do it, it was just like, I ain't gonna say a joke, but it was just like something we decided to do to, as I always say, to consolidate the traffic of Nasty Nah, Cousin Ted, and Princess M. You know, we all knew that we had 3 different platforms of people following and watching us. M had a Vine following. You know, I had a Twitter and Instagram following, music following more so. Cousin Tad was doing the skits on Instagram. So we needed a way, and Am had a large Instagram following too. So we needed a way to consolidate all of that traffic. So we wanted to bring it to YouTube. So we decided to do the show. Then we added in the additions of Who Married Tiz, Funniest in Philly, Booby. You know, then you got supporting cast like Pimp. Then you got Shock. You got Ashley. You got Tiff. You got so many people that started to become involved. Then you got season 2 where we kind of pretty much was so big that we was able to involve pretty much everybody. We had in season 1 we had cameos and appearances from Peanut Live 215 and things like that. So, and then by the end of it, we had pretty much everybody in the city willing to work with us or interested in working with us on that project. And we had a lot of different possible scenarios that could have turned out good, you know, like even a few different like under the table like offers and things that behind closed doors would have been real good for us. But as with anything, you know, you got things that occur. So with that being said, it was like one thing I said about our cast, we got along, we all loved each other. Besides, like we fought like brothers and sisters if anything. But you know, for the most part, everybody still have a relationship because everybody was good. We just didn't properly plan it the right way, and a lot of the times we acted on the fly because, like I said, we was dealing with something that was bigger than our hands could have afforded financially to deal with, and our mental capacity allowed us to exceed. So we really wasn't ready for what we had at the time. The reason is really, and then on top of that, our camera guy Rob, he kind of found interest or the passion and like he wanted to go back to school and become a doctor and things like that. So I support and salute him for that. So it was just like life started to take its course, and then when you're doing stuff for free and it's so time consuming and you're not seeing results as fast as you want, even though we all seen the potential and we all felt like it could have worked, it's still life was taking us to people got kids, people got 9 to 5s. It was just a lot with it. So as much as we wanted to keep it going, it just was hard. And it's like people want us to revisit and go back, but it's like now people at different stages in their career. So it's kind of hard to get people to get as in sync as we was doing Undefined. So as opposed to us going back and doing Undefined again, I would rather just work on another project and just, maybe that's something I consider. If y'all request it, y'all wish is my command. I got a bunch of scripts written up. That's just, what we do, something I'm passionate about. To touch on the hair cartel, as y'all know, we owned the hair salon, me and Pimp. We had the brand, we had brand ambassadors like Tiff, and a few other people that was involved with it. It was something that we decided to do. I'm passionate in business. I'm passionate in marketing. I can't say that I'm really passionate in hair. I think that's why I kind of went on a hiatus and separated myself a little bit from that. But it's something we still do. Like, we work to brand and make ourselves one of the top hair companies in the city and tri-state area. So, because we even expanded out Delaware and Jersey, things like that. So big shout out to my team of stylists that worked with me, been nothing but love and respect for them. Big shout out to the models that worked with us, the photographers, the graphic designers, like everybody that was responsible for the success. And we made a lot of money, and it was fun while doing it, and it's still fun, and it's something that we still plan to do. So if you're a female, we are currently looking for brand ambassadors. Y'all can contact Tiffany Cherie on Instagram. She'll be able to point you in the right direction. It's something I kind of wanted to be a little bit more hands-off with. Like, everybody know I was hands-on. If they worked with me with the hair cartel, they'll tell you how passionate I was within expanding the business, the growth and development of it, the organization, the operations of it. You know what I'm saying? Only thing with me is I just don't know if I'm specifically passionate in hair and hair care services and beauty. But from a business standpoint, it was definitely something that I seen lucrative and profitable. So it was definitely something me and Pimp decided to embark on. You know what I mean? So I love it. It's a brand. Y'all see us market. Y'all see us promote it. Y'all see us market it and promote it. Y'all see where it was. Y'all see where it is now. So, we do plan to continue on with it. You know what I mean? As far as in R&O, as we all know, is recognize no opponent. The mental thought of your opponent not existent eliminates the possibility of you fearing them. And I always try to instill this in the people as a self-confidence booster. If you didn't know, you know now. It was always a movement. It still is a movement. It's something I live by. It's something I die for. It's not necessarily a group or something, and we've been saying this for years. So a lot of people they misunderstand what it is. It's just a lifestyle. So it's like it's internally in me. It's embedded into me. So I don't gotta pump it as much as I used to. And then I'm not gonna say there's a stigma attached to it, but it just like sometimes you gotta let things be where they are. We're gonna always pump the message, and we always gonna recognize no opponent. But as far as in highlighting the stamp, it's just like we've been kind of distant from it. We've been more on our Pimp or Die thing, and I do want to touch on that, and I want to break it down. I want to actually go into depth about what Pimp or Die is and what it means, but I'm not going to do it this segment. This is more like a pilot episode. I don't want to talk your heads off too much. I just wanted to kind of briefly go through everything and kind of summarize it in a sense, even though it was like kind of a long summary. It could have been more lengthy, we all know. So I'm going to come back into it. I revisit. I got a lot of other topics I want to touch on, so and actually go into depth about the things that I even already discussed. This was more so a pilot, just to, kind of formally introduce everything and let y'all know and up to date y'all. So, it's your boy Nasty Nah, R&O, Pimp or Die. You already know what it is. Wolf on Wall Street coming soon. Follow me on all social media platforms at Nasty Nah 215. Like, share, repost, comment. Give me some feedback. I'm out.
Yeah.